What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, another brand new video. I've got a few life updates. Well, one major life update is that I got news yesterday that I'm going to be an uncle for the first time, so I'm made up for that. Got the news yesterday afternoon. I was just sat there about to watch the match, and then much about the same. We have news. They are my brother and sister-in-law are pregnant. Well, obviously she is, not him. So I cannot wait for that. And also on Saturday I ran my second longest run, which I am, again, wasn't very far, in 12k, but still second longest for me. But during that run I got some knee pain afterwards. I sat down for too long and then it was very painful to walk, and today it's kind of eased off, so I'm hoping to train later. It's not too bad, but it doesn't affect my squats. Now, so starting the day with some CBD. If I can get the friggin' pipette right. No, let's just get it all in. About there, and just under the tongue. Be interested to see how I get on with this. Anyway, in other news, more exciting news, I have finally signed up for Hyrox Nice. Did that about 10 minutes ago, and I finally got the all clear, everything, all dates are sorted, so that's going to be exciting. Can't wait to get stuck in the training for that, which I'm going to cover in today's video, if you can't tell by the title, although I'm not sure I'm going to title it anyway. But for now, yeah, I'm excited for Nice. Going to go and look at hotels and flights and all that. Should be pretty cheap. But for now, I'm going to enjoy my coffee, have breakfast here, just the usual oats, apple, cinnamon, salt, honey on top. Don't fancy banana because I'll be able to do my double sessions today, which I'm excited to have back. And then, yeah, let's have that, have the coffee, and then get stuck into some training. Now that I've dated the diary, I feel like my training is going to be a lot more structured because I have that end goal to aim for rather than just going through the motions, which is kind of what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks of training, sort of changing phases as and when I feel. Now I've got that end date, I know what phase I need to be in when. And personally, I like to have that goal and then work backwards from there. I was recently listening to a podcast on Roxy Life, with Megan Jacoby, apologies if I butchered that name, and how she said she takes out her strength work 8 weeks before competition, which is something I'm going to be trying this time round to see how that affects me. But for now, they are very much staying in, so let's get into those squats. And as per usual, we are 2.5 kilos up on last week, but we are one set down, so 4 sets of 6 instead of the usual 5 sets. Now, the reason for dropping that extra set is because I plan on running later, and I've realised all this, well, 5 sets, all this volume, just makes me feel a bit beaten up too much, and I want to start slowly pulling back on all the strength and hypertrophy work and start focusing more on that running and conditioning work, which I feel dropping a set would help. And these squats definitely felt better than the start of last week, although, as you can see from this angle, my right shoulder was playing up as usual, but managed to stave off that pain with some more trap smashing with the lacrosse ball, and I managed to get comfortably through all 4 sets. So like I said, another 2 or so weeks of this, finish on 140 and then deload and go from there. I feel I have a much better approach and outlook towards training now that I'm almost a year into this hybrid style training and training for Hyrox. Certainly last prep I was lifting way too much. I was still trying to squat 3 times a week, which was just ruining my running and not focusing on the running, which is where I was weakest, thinking that I had to lift just right up until event day. Whereas now, having the experience of doing that first Hyrox, I know what needs work, and since changing my training, I know I don't need to lift as much, dropping down from like say 3 full body sessions a week to 1 lower body session, 1 upper body session, and then 1 full body, which in the future will just drop down to a just sort of pure Hyrox focused Metcon kind of day. If you'd told me last year that I wasn't going to squat, bench or deadlift 8 weeks out from comp, I would have questioned my own sanity and tried to keep them in. But now we have that new approach, know what needs to be done. I'm actually fine with dropping the big 3. I could probably drop them out sooner, but I just like to train them. Like right now I could easily not be doing deadlifts because they have 0 transfer over to anything. Probably like the Not the most pointless lifts, they do have their purpose, sort of strong posterior chain, but in terms of sporting performance, they're sort of negligible carryover. But for now, same with squats, they are staying in, so let's get stuck into those sets. Despite having this set up at the very back of the platform, so the bar didn't roll, these all moved pretty well, although they didn't feel great. Now I'm slowly starting to sort of disassociate between how things feel versus how they look, since I mentioned last week about my RPE and it being pretty much non-existent. Speaking of, I've even noticed when running, what I feel like is in a threshold zone, quite high heart rate, is actually far from what it is in the zone. When I sped up, I've actually felt no difference and actually started feeling better and much more relaxed. But like I was saying for the last few weeks in regards to conditioning work, I'm still going to be increasing the volume there. Not so much the weight, as I don't feel the need to go heavier than, like I say, I may go up to the pro weight, but not heavier than that, as right now I don't really see the point to train too heavier, or too much heavier rather, especially things like, I know people say train wall balls heavy, but I'm just training to be slow. That's just my thoughts. These are all my thoughts. I'm not getting these from anywhere. And in terms of weight, obviously it'll be stronger for the sled, for the lunges, but you want to get used to what you're going to be using on the day. So right now, I'm going to go for the usual 4 sets of around 50-ish reps on lunges, although I push an extra length just to, again, increase that volume. I wish I could lunge this fast. I found over the last few weeks, taking a shorter stride with these feels much easier, rather than taking a break between each rep and trying to take a large step and put more emphasis on the posterior chain. If you remember back to the London Hyrox, I actually took my hamstring on the lunges, so that could have been a reason why. Maybe the 6-7k worth of running and other stations played a part too. It'd be interesting to see how I get on once I add in compromised training into the mix. And after these, it was time for the 50-minute EMOM of 10 burpees. Now the hat had to come off for the burpees as I was getting far too hot, and hair was useful to kind of hide the pain, and also the waving of the hair kind of like a big fan. Give me a little gust of wind when I jumped up, so that was a small bonus. These started out pretty well, around 30 seconds per round, but then towards the end, which you'll see in a second, for the latter rounds, I think rounds 11 through 15, I started taking a step up for the burpees because I was just ruined. My chest, shoulder, triceps were on fire, and so were my hamstrings. So despite it only being 3 minutes extra, it was a total of 30 more reps, which my body just did not like. So I was struggling hard towards the end, and as you can probably see by my reaction end of this set, I don't know if you can just make out, depending on how quiet I've put this, but you'd be able to hear the Marvel soundtracks playing. Hopefully don't get copyrighted, but I found these have helped me a lot in training over the last few weeks, especially during my runs. And final point is that I found if you suck on something, chuck it in an EMOM or in a conditioning piece and work on it until it becomes a strength, which is what I'm going to do with these burpees. And then just to finish off the session, a couple of sets of max rep hammer curls to balance out all the burpees, and because Hunter McIntyre says big biceps win races, I'm trying to grow those. Well, that was a very good session, despite how tough it felt. Squats felt okay, deadlifts okay, but then the lunges and burpees just got worse and worse as it went on. But time now to head home, have a little snack, probably have a peanut butter and banana sandwich, have some electrolytes, and then head out for the running intervals. I was thinking of doing 800s, but I may just stick with 10x4s just because they're nice and easy, and that's the distance I want to get better at, which will in time improve the 1k time. But yeah, enough rambling, let's get home for some lunch. And here is lunch. Good old peanut butter and banana sandwich, a little bit of honey, some salt, and the very last of that ghost protein. I just thought I'd show you this cross section now. Look how nice that looks. As long as I don't get any crumbs anywhere, is it going to focus on the sandwich? Looks delicious. Now, nutrition is something that I've been slacking on recently in terms of quality and quantity. I'd say more so quantity. Some, like the last few weeks, I've not been eating enough on certain days leads me to feel sluggish, especially at the weekend when I don't really train much and just tend to relax. Like Saturdays, I just go for a long run and then I'm really hungry, or just end up having lunch. The last few Saturdays I've worked 9 to 11, ran from 12 till 1, half 1-ish, and then that's when I have my breakfast at like 2 o'clock, and then I'm just in already a big deficit. I need to eat back those calories. Seems to have like 4,000 calories. That's something I definitely need to work on, the quality as well. I need to have more like whole foods, more nutritious, dense foods, and not just sort of beans on toast, pizza, that kind of thing. But work in progress. And at the weekend, yesterday, Kay and I went to David Lloyd's. She's recently joined, and I got a day pass and use one of their body pods, which again is just numbers to measure off. I don't really trust them that much, but it's good measurements, so I'm going to use those measurements. I'll put them on screen now. Put me at like 23% body fat, 93 kilos, which is big for someone wanting to get better at running. It isn't good for the old joints. So I'm going to look to, in a month or so, start to bring my calories down, lose a bit of body fat, again focus more on performance than the aesthetics. So it's only going to be a 200 calorie deficit. I've never ran and tried a deficit before, so that's going to be interesting. I'm probably going to go into a 200, 300 calorie deficit and eat back less of my running calories, probably 70, 80%, so I'm still in that sort of deficit range. But for now, I'm going to continue to eat. I think tonight I'm going to have a big bowl of spaghetti bolognese, make it fresh, maybe have some garlic bread, get all nutrient dense foods, and then maybe a protein yogurt as a little snack. But for now, I'm going to enjoy this, and hopefully it doesn't rain before I get out for my run. Okay, I might have to go for a walk. So it's been a couple of hours, and in that meantime I have managed to book the flights for Nice, so it's really happening. I spent far too long making reels, so I'm going to take Odin out now. I was going to run and then take him out, but he needs his walk first and then I can go for a run. I'm not drinking enough water, feel a bit dehydrated, so I'm going to drink some now. Sorry, we'll go out in a minute, 1 second. He's kicking off because he's got his harness on. Probably should have waited for this clip, but go on. Yeah, so we're going to quickly take him for a little walk. It's gone too dark already. And then come in, quick change, head for a run, and then I will update you all afterwards. And that is training done for the day. Intervals done, 10 by 4 meters. Not the best, what is that? Let me torch. Not the best ever intervals done. Very, very slow, but at least again got something done. Legs were tired towards the end. I think on interval 5 or 6 that knee pain started to come back a little bit, so I probably shouldn't have carried on, but that's why I'm having a stretch now. I don't normally stretch after a run, even though I should. And it would be great to start the Hyrox prep with an injury, although official prep hasn't started yet. I'm all signed up. Speaking of signing up, just before I went for the run, Hyrox Birmingham was announced for the first race of the 2024-2025 season, which obviously Hyrox Nice is part of. So I got sent round to Adam, although Kelly is keen to do a mixed pairs one, so we might be signing up for that as well, which is literally 2 weeks after Nice. That's going to be a fun couple of weeks, quick turnaround. But that was going to be it for the video. Today's training double session done. Hyrox Nice all booked, just need to book somewhere to stay now. Airbnb's looking very cheap, so looking forward to that. And yeah, looking forward to getting stuck into some proper training in, I think, 3 weeks. Like I say, I want to hit those numbers on squats and deadlifts, and then we'll go from there. But right now I'm going to finish stretching, cook that bolognese, get the pasta on, go for a shower, and then chill for the evening, and then kicking on with the rest of the week. If you enjoyed today's video, hit the like button if you're new, subscribe, turn notifications, all that jazz, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace. Ow. Bye.